Hi everyone, Tammy here. Welcome to my channel. And again, I have a virtual Blythe Retreat video with my sister Terry. She is over at Be Creative with Terry Jeanette, as well as Jewelry Making with Tapping Flamingo on YouTube. So I will put her info down below for you to click on. And today we're talking about survey results for the retreat that we offered last June 2025. At the end of each retreat, which is a 3-day retreat, this year's retreat is June 5th, 6th, and 7th. So that's for 2026, if you see this way in the future. Okay. And it is an online retreat that we have through Facebook. I'll put some links down below, and also this is in a playlist on my Peacecraft Dolls YouTube channel. So if you want to look at previous videos where we talk about, just basic information about what we do at these retreats, feel free to imbibe. But today we're going to talk about the survey results from last year. And like I said, at the end of the retreat, we always send out a survey. And also, I will say, the information we're going to share with you, some of us is basically in the surveys, but also Terry and I also looked back at the group to kind of remember what people did seem to like and that kind of thing, because of course, not everybody who attended the retreat filled out a survey, you know. And
Right, yeah.
right. And some people just emailed us too. Some people didn't fill, but they just emailed us. So there was
hmm
that also. So we had 10 questions. Terry and I are going to go back and forth on the 10 questions and just tell you what the question was, and then generally what the consensus was for the group that filled out the survey and gave us feedback. So Terry, question number one, what was it?
All right. Question number one is, what was your favorite activity and why? This is kind of interesting. I just went down and read them all and kind of made tally marks. Number one, there were as a tie, was a crochet activity, and the other one was we made these little pipe cleaner dolls. And the funny thing is, both of these were the favorite, but both of these were the least favorite.
Right. That was the question number two, what was the least favorite? And they were the same thing.
Yeah, which is interesting. But some of the other things that people mentioned was see, they liked the prize posts, and the reason they liked that was because it introduced everyone. We got to
Mhm.
interact with each other and get to know each other. So that was kind of fun. This is all virtual, well, not in person, so it's not like we can hang out with other people
Right.
live. So we're having to hang out with each other virtually, and the prize posts are kind of fun way to do that. They liked the photography, the jewelry, the visor. We did a sewing project. Um, and let's see. The reason they liked the photo, because I thought this was interesting, is a new way interesting. It was a new way to learn how to approach doll photography. And it was a really excellent
Yeah,
video.
Maida Gallard, she is the one, she did that
hmm
workshop on that. And that video actually is up on her YouTube channel if you want to go check it out. So
hmm
typically we ask people who do workshops with us, we have guest artists who come, and we typically ask them to wait about 6 months before they post it on their channels. And so it's just exclusive for our, retreat for quite a while, for a few months. But eventually they do put it up on your channels usually. So if you've seen anything in the past like that, definitely go over and check out those artists' YouTube channels and see if they have that
Yeah.
information that they shared with us. So yeah, so that was a big
hmm
plus. Yeah, everybody loved her video. It was amazing. So that
It was
was
really
that was
good.
what everybody
Yep.
that was our number one question, was what did you like the best? And of course, number two was what did you like the least? And as Harry said, it was pretty much the same thing. People said they didn't like the crochet and they didn't like the dog, but then they just said they did. I mean, so like it's, you know, now the thing with the crochet that people mentioned, that they just kind of got frustrated because either they didn't know how to crochet or they were very new to it. And even though the project was a very beginner friendly, I don't know if it's very beginner. It was probably, I wouldn't call it intermediate. I would say maybe advanced beginner. It was a little skirt, right? So that's crocheting in
hmm
the round, which is a little bit easy, more involved than something super easy like just a swatch, right? So I think that was it. And I will say, just make a call out, if because I'm going to do more crochet, just so you know, more crochet is coming your way in these retreats, in the
Yeah,
future,
well,
because
people
most people,
mentioned
they liked it.
they liked it.
Yes, yeah,
So
they liked it, and
it's
we try
coming
to have
back.
a variety. We don't want to do the same old all the time. It's like if something's really popular, we'll do more of it, but then we always try to add every year. So I was going to say I have a playlist on this channel on my Peacecraft Dolls YouTube channel of how to crochet for dolls. So head over there now. So if you want to learn to crochet. After you finish watching this video, go over there and learn to crochet because you have plenty of time now to learn. And we do
And
keep,
don't give up. Just
yeah,
keep trying.
yeah,
I mean, you're not going to get it the first time. You're
right,
not.
right. Yes. And I
If you
think
are,
that's
you'll be very
something, in fact,
surprised.
that was something when I was looking at the all of the comments and stuff from the survey. A few people mentioned that that was one thing in general that they really liked about the retreat was it pushed them out of their comfort zone, made them learn new skills, new activities that they hadn't tried before and that they probably wouldn't have. But so that was something that they really liked. So anyway, yeah, the only reason why they weren't, the only negative things about the crochet was that they hadn't done it before, right? And so, or they were, very new to crochet, so they felt a little bit, a little overwhelmed with that project. But otherwise, like she said, it's just funny that, you ask somebody that it's like the same thing. But and I will also say we got a lot of people on that. What was your least favorite? A lot of people just said there wasn't a least favorite. That was the
Yes, yeah.
majority of them, honestly. They said they liked it all. So,
Yeah, well, and that same thing with what was your favorite. I got a lot of it saying I liked it all.
right.
So,
It's hard to pick just one, right? All right, so question number 3, Terry.
as far as number three, what would you like to see in future retreats? Well, there was a lot of really good ideas. We do listen to you. We have listened in the past. That's where the crocheting came to be, is
Mhm.
because people were saying, I want to learn to crochet. So,
Well, and the puppy dog
crochet.
too. We had a lot of people who wanted props or
Props.
props.
Oh, that's right.
And
Yes.
yeah.
And that's where the puppy dog came from. So, again, we have uh, some type of a protective bag for your doll and doll clothes. Hair was mentioned a lot, stuff on your hair
Hmm.
or the doll's hair. PJs, props, a dolly room. So I'm thinking that's kind of maybe like a diorama. And
Hmm.
there were a lot of diorama was mentioned in
Hmm.
that. Lots of ideas for eye chips, making them, changing them out. Um, Somebody was saying, I really like the visor, maybe more workshops like the visor.
Hmm.
Um, Somebody mentioned how she says, I love the short, simple workshops, not the time consuming ones, which, even on my channels, I don't like to do long videos because I know personally I don't have time to sit and
Well,
watch it.
and we're kind of, so when we put together the workshops, I think that's a legitimate thing to discuss here is we tried again to have a variety. We
Right,
but we do lean in towards a lot of easy items to make because of the time restraints we have. It's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So
right.
in 3 days we're and there's a lot of other things going on. It's not like there's only one project that people are trying to make.
Yeah,
Right?
in
So
3 days, she's going from naked to this with
right.
earrings and
Yeah,
other
pole
jewelry,
charm and all, the tote bag
stuff
and
to
all,
wear.
yeah.
And
So, so there's a lot to do, and it's not like you have to do every single project, but most
right.
people want to do that. So, and then we have different skill levels of participants. We have some people who, are able to whip stuff out and make that visor, and it's like not a big deal. And then other people who found it a little bit more, you know,
Like
so we
me.
try to have a range. Typically, I like to have one or two projects that are probably a little bit more challenging. And then most of the rest of projects we try to make pretty easy because we have a limited time and a variety of skills. And just because you have really strong crafting or making skills doesn't mean you still can't enjoy making something simple,
Oh yeah,
you know.
yeah, yeah.
So, you know.
Now there was one thing that we did try. A couple of people mentioned well, maybe a live Zoom.
Mm.
Tammy, why don't you explain what happened there when we
Yeah,
tried?
we actually did that. I think it's the first one.
For the
Did we do
first
that the
one.
first one? Right. So we did that for the first one. We had for that first year, we had about 30 people join us for the retreat, and
From
we
all
had
over the
about
world.
over
We had
the entire world, right? But we had maybe 6 people, including Terry and myself, at our live Zoom. Just FYI. And a lot of people weren't comfortable turning on their cameras. So it was a lot of just me and Terry and a couple other people, and like maybe one or two other people, and then everybody else. Like it was just a really small group, and it was just and we actually had people tell us in the survey back then that it
okay.
was just the time wasn't right. They're not comfortable with that. It was just there was a lot of reasons not to do it. So um
So
so
we
yeah, we we tried it. It didn't I don't feel like it worked for us. It's not that we won't consider trying it again in the future, but right now I feel like what we're doing really works, and the all of the prize posts, the activities that Terry puts together where everybody can talk to each other, that works really well at that method of getting to know people and talking to people.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, and that's besides a way to give away prizes, the
mhm,
prize posts are more so to help us get to know each other,
right, right.
and our doll collection. Now, one last thing that I thought was interesting is uh actually a couple of people mentioned this, maybe a challenge before VBR. I'm not really for sure what that would be, but it's kind of an
Terry and I have
interesting
talked
thought.
about that, but then that's a lot of outside, like so basically the retreat starts before the retreat starts. I mean,
Right,
so and
right, yeah.
that was something, especially because we are so lucky that we get a lot of really good prize donations. In fact, this time we have not only do we have this great grand prize, there's another person that is going to be giving us an extremely nice prize that would it's huge, okay? And
Yeah.
so we kind of thought about, well,
We
maybe
passed out when we found it.
yeah, yeah. So, but yeah, that would mean, you know, extra work. And I feel like people, like, how do we get the information out to people? We are doing videos now out the wazoo about the retreat, and some of you are going to see all of them, and a lot of people aren't going to see any of them.
Well, and also what happens is if we do something before, it kind of almost defeats the purpose of what Virtual Blythe Retreat is all about. Because
Hmm.
Virtual Blythe Retreat, the workshops are all about turning your doll into a specific person, you
Hmm.
know? And
Character,
so if
yeah.
you're doing that beforehand,
Then you've already done it.
then you've already done it.
Yeah.
So now I'll have to say, did we do this last year? We may have done this with a teaser. I think it was with the Mardi Gras teaser.
Hmm.
Um, we did made the dolls up, and then we had
Yes.
quote Mardi Gras parade afterwards. You know,
Yes.
and
Yes.
maybe we could do something like that at the
Yeah.
end.
Well,
Is
and that was the thing is just when we did the teasers, we had two what we call teasers, retreat teasers, where Terry and I sort of put together miniature, totally freebie retreat workshops, okay, as a way to tease people and give people who maybe hadn't been to a retreat before kind of a feel for what we did there. And again, it was hard to get the word out. A lot of people didn't get to go, hadn't heard anything about it. So um yeah, so I guess those are the reasons why we're kind of not keen on doing that, but it is something on our radar. Let's put it that way.
Mhm. Yeah. And if you're interested in those teasers, they are on our
Yeah.
channels.
We have playlists both
Yeah.
on both our channels for that. So, all right. Is that it for number 3, Terry?
That is it for number 3.
So number 4 was for those who purchased the goodie bag, what were your 3 top favorite items in the bag? And so just a big long list. So they kind of liked everything again. Yeah. So one resounding thing that everybody loves are the little t-shirts. Okay.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Anytime. So the very first retreat, we did not have doll t-shirts because again, we just kind of like threw it together at the last minute. But there, that's the one that we had for the Party Under the Sea retreat a couple years ago. So,
Got to
and
be my favorite one, except for maybe the one that is this year. I think that's
yes,
going
this
to
year's pretty cool. That one's really neat. It goes all sparkling and everything. So that is always a resounding must have. We know. And then but then everybody liked everything else. They really liked the jewelry supplies. They had little tennis shoes in there last time. A lot of people liked the little suitcase. So I got these little cardboard suitcase kits. You could put them
be.
together. It's like a little, that was funny. And then we got little miniature cell phones.
Oh,
So
I like that's what I liked.
those were so cute. Those were nice. Those were like metal. I was shocked
Yeah.
at the quality of those. So, so yeah, so that's what they liked. Those are all they liked everything pretty much. Again, but the t-shirts are the number one resounding item that always seems popular in the goodie bag. So, all right. And so Terry, you're on to number 5.
Number 5. So what would you like to see in future goodie bags? Um, okay, this is interesting. A matching iron-on for a human shirt. Now, we actually had an opportunity for you to purchase a
Hmm.
human t-shirt. Some of you did. That was with the Under the Sea party.
Yes.
But I don't remember reading that last year, honestly.
Mm-mm.
And I'm like, or even a sticker. That would be kind of fun. You could put it on like your cups,
That's true. That's an
whatever.
idea.
That would be
Yeah.
fun.
Hmm.
I don't know how difficult that would be. We'd have to ask around about that.
Hmm.
Yarn. I don't. Yarn can be. I don't know.
I mean, I actually last year I almost put yarn in the goodie bags, I
Oh,
will say.
really?
In fact, I was even, portioning it out and everything. And I trying to remember what happened with that, why I did not. There was a reason. I think it was just becoming too much. And it was like, one of the things like when we put together the workshops, we are really cognizant of using supplies that are easy to get,
Yeah,
for the most part. I will
and affordable.
And affordable, right. I will say the one exception was when we did the mermaid that needed specialty fabric.
Oh,
And I did have that was in the goodie bag. Okay. So yeah, that stretchy fabric there. That's not impossible to get. But yeah, if you have to, you got probably the smallest amount you could buy would be a quarter yard. But
and it's
anyway,
expensive too.
yeah, but I mean, I just felt like you had to use that to make a mermaid. I don't know. That was my thing.
Yeah,
So
I
anyway,
think you did.
yeah.
Let's see, more supplies, even if it costs more money, which
Hmm.
that's interesting because that's like was mentioned. We try to have things where it's affordable. Some of the stuff that I have put into my projects have actually been beads that before the tariffs,
Hmm.
I was getting stuff from companies. They would
Yeah.
send me beads and then I would do videos. So I didn't have to pay for them. Those days are gone though. So
Yes. Yeah.
anyway, on a second t-shirt.
Oh,
That was
two
mhm.
t-shirts, two Dolly t-shirts. Okay. That would be more. That's the most expensive thing in the
Yes,
goodie
by
bag because
far.
we have to buy we have to buy the t-shirts. I don't make those t-shirts. I'm not gonna make those. And then we have to have somebody help us design them and make them. And this year we actually have somebody who's helping us, and it's been a little bit of a help with that. But in the past, we've actually had to pay a considerable amount. Those little t-shirts were not cheap. So,
Yeah, they're not cheap.
but yeah, but that's interesting. Yeah, and it's just so you know, even though, so we do put supplies, some of the supplies for the workshops are in the goodie bags. However, we have a list of supplies available about 6 weeks before the workshops, before
Mhm.
the retreat. So once somebody purchases a pass and joins the Facebook group for the retreat, that person has access to the files area. And in the files area, we have an agenda of everything that's going to happen during the weekend, and then we also have a list of supplies, so you can get your own supplies. And, most of us that come to the retreat, we're crafters anyway. So a lot of things are things that people are going to have, or,
Right.
like I said, very easy. Like, for example, the yarn that I used in that little skirt was, what do you call it? Sport weight yarn, or sometimes people call it baby yarn or something. So it's yarn that you could get at Walmart or any craft store or
Mhm.
any yarn store, or it's I didn't use like some sort of fancy, silk blend, independent dyed,
For the most part,
anything
when
like that.
we put together our workshops, we keep in mind that not everybody is going to be buying a goodie bag
Hmm.
and that the supplies need to be something that's affordable and easy to get.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. All right, so that's number 5. Is that everything, Terry?
That is everything.
Okay, so question 6 was, for those who purchased the goodie bag, tell us your thoughts concerning including the supplies or not including the supplies for future retreat goodie bags. And this is something Terry and I have kind of gone back and forth on every year. I would say resoundingly, everybody likes the supplies. Um, they also, yeah, and like I said, we try to get supplies, use supplies that are easy to get. Everybody's very appreciative, so that's a yes. Basically keep putting in the supplies there. That's otherwise, yeah, they want the supplies.
Now,
I didn't see anybody say no, don't put them in.
I do want to mention about the wire.
Mm,
Typically, I do not put the wire in there. Wire is pretty easy to get.
hmm.
Um, and there's a couple of reasons. I don't put the wire in there. For one thing, like I like silver. So and so might like gold. I don't like silver. I'd rather have gold.
Hmm.
And then the main thing is, um, when you're working with wire sometimes, especially if you're a newbie at it, you may need more than what you think
Yes.
because you may have messed up.
You
Believe me,
can't have
I've
too
done
much
that.
wire. Yeah.
Yeah. And so if I only give you enough to do a project and then you mess it up, you don't have any wire left. Plus
Right.
the fact you will use the wire up.
Hmm.
Someday there will be another project that you will want to use that wire. So
Right.
it's not
And
something, yeah.
I mean, as long as you're not using precious metal wire, um,
It's
it's fairly
affordable.
inexpensive. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, all right. So Terry, number
Number 7.
7.
Are there other crafts you would like to see in future VBR? So again, hairstyling, hair stuff, wigs, anything to do with the hair. So that's like one of the top things. Props, more sewing. We've got diorama stuff, um, sewing a skirt, making books and furniture.
All right, so props again. Okay.
Props, yeah. Eye chips again, shoes, um, no skill techniques. No sew, like a no sew handkerchief skirt, which we actually did that.
I was just gonna say, yeah, that
Well,
reminds,
this is my jellyfish princess, so
yeah,
something like that is what I'm thinking she's thinking.
probably, yeah.
But no skill technique like gluing and folding. And then somebody mentioned like origami type stuff. So I'm wondering if that's what she meant. Of course, you don't glue origami, but you do
No.
fold paper.
But I mean, I feel like your dog last time, the pipe cleaner dog,
Yes,
kind of fits that bill.
it does. Yeah. And
Yeah.
felting. I've always wanted to do felting myself.
Felting is interesting.
Uh-huh.
That's not a low skill thing though. It sounds like it, but
No.
it's very,
And I think it takes a while. I've done a
yeah,
little
it
bit of
does.
it, but
It's
I have
not
no
a,
idea what I'm
yeah,
doing.
it's a, yeah, time intensive. Hmm. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's a lot of variety there.
Nice. I like it. Okay. All right. So, question number 8 was, what are your thoughts about the prizes offered, including the grand prize? Yeah, everybody loves them. No, not a big surprise. I will say, Terry and I made the decision after the first couple of retreats that we were going to pony up the money for having a stock Blythe doll. And that's like a lot. So we charge for the retreat and then we charge for the goodie bags. But the time that we put into this event, you can just
Oh,
imagine there is no way we're getting anything back for that,
we
right?
get like pennies back.
Yes. So a
Here's
lot of
money in our pocket.
Yeah, so a lot of the money that we get
Yes,
over the years, we've just rolled it back
you roll
in
it back.
for the
Mhm.
most part, and then gotten bought stuff for future goodie bags and those dolls. All right. So the stock dolls, we ponied up, we're getting the real deal now. And I mean, I'm glad we did that. It was kind of scary at first because it was
Yes,
like, well, I can just buy a $20 AliExpress doll and customize her, and but again, that took me time to do,
it
right?
does. It
So
does when
it
you think
wasn't
about
like, yeah, it was my time. My time is worth money. So I guess there's kind of a, you know, there's kind of a
it. The thing is,
double.
I, I mean, I can't, like, if we were to do this for a living, which we're not, but
Mhm.
if you do something for a living, you want to have that money so you can survive, so you can have a meal and pay your rent,
Yes. Yeah.
and time doesn't do that.
Right, right, right.
But, that's not the purpose of what we're doing here. We do this because we like it.
Hmm.
It like Tammy said, it was a little scary at first because it's
Right.
like we're gonna have to
But we love
out of
Blythe.
our own
We
pocket.
love the Blythe dolls,
Yes.
I mean, they're we love doll collecting and we love making for dolls, all types of dolls. You know me. I mean, I love I have a quite a collection here of different kinds of dolls. But
Hey,
Blythe's
I love
what?
it so much. I sewed my finger up and
Oh
I'm
yes.
still sewing. It hurts still.
Oh no. That's gonna take a while to heal.
Well, I kind of wonder if there's something in there, but I don't know.
But anyway, so that's why we we leveled up to that and it was worth it and everybody seems to appreciate it. So yeah, let's go on to question number 9, Terry.
All right. Okay, this is an interesting one. Thoughts on future in-person retreat experience? I got everything from yay to forget that. A lot of people were saying depends on the money. Please don't get rid of VBR, which we would never.
Mm-mm.
If we had a in-person retreat, it would probably be a one-time thing.
Mm.
Uh, we're not getting rid of VBR and
It would
replacing
not
it.
be replacing
No,
the
not at
virtual
all.
version. No.
Um,
It would be in addition to.
so the reason that we've done this, and this was mentioned in the reason they would not want an in-person, a lot of people are suffering from health issues. They can't afford to. I mean, I know I can't afford to take a bunch of time and
Mhm.
money to go across the country or into a different country to go to a virtual Blythe retreat. I'd love to, but I got to
Yeah.
be realistic. And I think a lot of us are in that same boat. Speaking of boat, somebody did mention a cruise.
Mm. That would be interesting.
And believe it or not, that has actually crossed my mind.
Yes. Yeah. We
I
we
don't know if we'd ever be able to do it,
We've
but that
talked
would be
about that.
fun.
Terry is a very seasoned cruiser. I have gone on a few. I've gone on quite a few, but she's a seasoned cruiser, and I feel like that is something that we might be able to do someday, especially now that I'm retired and stuff. So, but that would be not, like I said, it would not replace the virtual, and it would have to
Yeah.
be a very small group. It
Oh,
wouldn't
yeah,
be
definitely.
like like there's some craft cruises that are like hundreds of people go on them and stuff like that. And that would, I just don't see that happening unless
I don't think we could do. A little
some
overwhelming.
company want to sponsor us or something like that. But
Yeah,
I just don't, if it was all on us, it would have to be very tiny.
right. Yeah, yeah. So,
So
but
anyway.
you know what? Let me know what y'all think. I'm just kind of
Yeah,
curious.
what do you guys think? I mean, because so Terry, she lives in Louisiana right now, but she comes to Florida a lot. I'm in Florida. Whenever we've cruised, typically we go out of Cape Canaveral, which is on the East Coast near Kennedy Space Center area, if you know
Yeah.
where that's at, Brevard County. And that's that would be the easiest. That is, by the way, it's about an hour away from Orlando. And there's also
Well,
Melbourne
yeah.
Airport is right there too, which is 20 minutes away, I think, maybe to Cape Canaveral. So there is an international airport. Not a lot of people don't know about Melbourne Airport.
Yeah. Shh.
I know. Yeah, they all come into Orlando or
I'm
even
like,
West Palm
you
Beach,
people
which
need to
is,
go into Melbourne. Orlando is, oh,
oh, I know. That is a big airport. So So it's I feel like that would be a very doable thing for a small group of us to possibly do someday,
Hmm.
and we could, make it
We
very
could do workshops
social.
and
Yeah,
social and
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I
I
mean,
mean,
I even have ideas that like Tammy and I, whenever we've gone to Puerto Rico,
we
we
love
like to
Puerto
go to
Rico.
beach shops, you know,
Yeah.
and just stuff like that. I
Yeah,
don't know.
there's like at least three beach shops there.
Hmm.
So we have gone there actually in the past and gone to the beach shops, and we've actually been part of some Facebook groups, and she and I have offered jewelry making classes.
We did
Um,
them.
yeah, yeah, we had jewelry making classes there that we just for free, we
It's just a
just,
pop up.
just pop-up classes. Yeah, and people really liked them. We made guitar string bracelets and
Hmm.
because another thing you do
Earrings.
sometimes on and earrings, yeah. Another thing you do sometimes on these cruises is you go around and you can get free charms and stuff at these little jewelry shops. There's all kinds of jewelry shops, fine jewelry, and they'll give you these free charms. So then Terry and I, she had this idea to make them into these bangle bracelets using guitar strings, and so that was really fun. So we've kind of tested the waters, and I feel like, yeah, this is something she and I've talked about for years. So I guess we're just going to reveal it here. Let us know what you
Well,
guys think.
yeah,
Let us know
I'm
what you
kind
think.
of
Would you
curious.
want to go
Yeah.
on a cruise with us with your dollies?
We go around taking pictures with our dolls
Take
on the ship.
pictures, right? Enjoy dinner together. Maybe do, definitely, excursions possibly together, stuff like that. But yeah, it kind of depends on where we could go. Puerto Rico's at the top of our list because of the beads. San Juan,
Right.
Puerto Rico, right? So is it San Juan? Yeah, that's the port
San
there.
Juan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, let us know what you think about that.
Dream
Okay, and
on.
so finally, number 10. Yeah. Do you have any additional comments about your retreat experience? Um, some people said, basically, everybody gave us positive feedback on this. And like I said, a lot of people appreciated the fact that we were pushing them out of their comfort zone. Oh, and there was another thing that people really liked. This year, we ended up changing the agenda a little bit. And so in the past, we spread out the workshops over 3 days. Last year, to help accommodate our international folks, and actually just made sense once Terry and I started thinking about it. We had all of the workshops on Friday and Saturday, and then Sunday was sort of like a catch-up day. So if you were, say you had to work all day Friday and you couldn't do any of the workshops, you had time, to still do them and still participate with everybody else. You can do them later, of course, but this way, yeah, so that we changed the organization of the events a little bit during the weekend, and that was a big that everybody liked that, not just our international folks. So that was something that everybody really liked. Um, a few people said they wish there would have been more shopping, like more shops this time. We didn't have as many people creating shop albums, but and that's something that we've talked about in our prize video that will be published by the time we do this. We do take prizes, and people who donate prizes are able to create a shop album. And yeah, they just appreciated the flexibility of not having to be there every single minute, but they can still get on during the weekend and do stuff. And then afterwards, for 2 weeks, we leave the retreat group open. Even though all the prizes have been, divvied up and that kind of thing, we leave it open so people can go check out the workshops and watch them again, or for the first time if they missed out. So,
Yeah, and you can still for those 2 weeks, you can still post your projects that you've done and the dolls
still
all
share.
dressed
Yeah,
up and still
yeah,
share and
yeah,
talk to each other. Yeah.
exactly. All right, guys, I think that's kind of covering all of the retreat survey information from 2025. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Make sure you head over to Terry's YouTube channels, Be Creative with Terry Jeanette. And if you want to learn how to make jewelry, she's got lots of jewelry tutorials at Tapping Flamingo. Please give this a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Have a wonderful Dolly Day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.